Welcome to Crisis in Perception, where we examine the systems shaping our world one book at a time. Today, we're diving into a really powerful idea about how our world changes, not slowly, but all at once, right in the moments after a catastrophe. So, have you ever noticed this? A major crisis hits, a war, a natural disaster, a terrorist attack. And then all of a sudden, these huge radical policy changes get rushed through. Things that, let's be honest, most of us would never agree to in normal times. It's like they happen while everyone's still reeling from the shock. So why is that? Is it just a coincidence? Well, according to Naomi Klein's groundbreaking book, The Shock Doctrine, it's not a coincidence at all. In fact, it's a deliberate and really effective political strategy. And to really get our heads around this big global economic strategy, we actually have to start by looking at something much, much smaller and way more personal: the human mind when it's under extreme stress. Yeah, believe it or not, this all kicks off in the 1950s. The CIA was secretly funding research by a psychiatrist, a Dr. Ewan Cameron. And his goal? It was pretty dark. He wanted to figure out how to completely break down human consciousness, to basically wipe a person's mind clean. Dr. Cameron used this absolutely brutal mix of techniques on his patients, who had no idea what was happening to them. He called it depatterning. And let's be clear, this had nothing to do with healing. The whole point was to induce a state of profound shock to make the mind totally open to suggestion. And the process was just horrifyingly systematic. First, intense isolation, then a complete sensory assault using high-voltage electroshock and powerful drugs. The end goal was to make adults regress to an infantile state, to create what some philosophers call a tabula rasa, a blank slate. And right there, that's the core idea. The shock doctrine argues that this deeply disturbing concept of breaking a person down just to remake them was scaled way up. It was taken from the individual mind and applied to entire societies. So here's the crucial point. A collective shock, like a war or a hurricane, creates a kind of societal blank slate. While an entire population is disoriented, afraid, and just trying to survive, a window of opportunity swings wide open for a rapid-fire push of radical economic changes. We're talking privatization, deregulation, and huge cuts to social spending. And once you see this pattern, you start seeing it everywhere. After Pinochet's coup in Chile, in the chaos of post-Soviet Russia, and even in the US, in the floodwaters of New Orleans after Hurricane Katrina. This recurring playbook, this strategy of using a crisis as an opportunity, it has a name: disaster capitalism. It's this fusion of corporate power with the state where catastrophic events become incredibly profitable markets. Think massive reconstruction contracts, the privatization of public services, all sold to us in the name of relief. The best way to think about it is like this. It's like someone renovating your house while you're unconscious. The changes are drastic, they're permanent, and you never, ever consented to them. Policies that would normally be fiercely debated and probably rejected are just pushed through without any real democratic process. And once you understand this, it completely reframes how we think about things. Suddenly, words like reconstruction might just mean giving huge contracts to well-connected companies. Reform might actually mean dismantling public schools or hospitals. It forces us to ask a really important question about what happens after the disaster. If a crisis is being used as a strategy, then what exactly is recovery? Whose recovery are we talking about? And recovery into what kind of society? This is the central challenge the book leaves us with. It asks us to look right past the chaos and start seeing the systems at play. So that was a quick look at The Shock Doctrine by Naomi Klein. We really encourage you to grab a copy of the book or borrow it from your local library to truly get a handle on the depth of these ideas. For the full long-form deep dive into this book and its ideas, follow the link in the description. If you enjoy systems-level analysis like this, please subscribe and comment with books or topics you'd like us to explore next.